Hey, what's up guys, Tech Titan here and I am back again with a brand new video. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the camera on the Samsung Galaxy A13. But before we do that, first I want to thank you all so much for watching my content. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a thumbs up. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot, more than you think actually. And also in the description below, I will leave my Instagram and my Facebook. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate, ask me there, I'll answer fairly quickly. With that being said, let's talk about the Galaxy A13's camera. And the comparison between the A13 and the A13 5G is coming really soon, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Let's start with the camera specs. So you have a 50 megapixel main camera, followed by a 5 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a 2 megapixel macro and depth sensor, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The macro and the depth sensor, you can just forget about them, to be honest with you. You really are going to be using just the main and the ultra wide. Okay, and as far as the camera app goes, it's what you would expect from Samsung. Easy to use, simple, and does what you would expect. So taking pictures is really quick and fast, and you can fluctuate between a 2x zoom or the 0.5x ultra wide angle. And the phone also records 1080p at 30 frames per second. There's no optical image stabilization or anything like that, but you will see sample video. So now let's reflect and circle back and talk about image quality. So the image quality that comes out of this phone are overall respectable and decent. They're not really the greatest. So colors that come out of this phone are actually undersaturated, which is surprising because Samsung, they do love their saturation, and at times it is overexposed, but overall it's respectable. For a budget phone, it's definitely respectable. Here and there, this phone does tend to overexpose. Now when it comes to actual detail, again, decent, not the greatest that I've seen, and the image overall is undersaturated, so it's kind of soft and the colors don't really pop. But on the branch itself, on the tree itself, there is a fair amount of detail, so definitely gets a pass. Now one of the problems that I did have when it comes to image quality too is that focus. So the autofocus on here is frustrating, to say the least. So it doesn't really do a good job in focusing on the subjects that you want to take a picture of. And it's not like I'm trying to pick like hard subjects. You just can't do it. That's really what I have to say. You just have to take the pictures multiple times and pray that you will get a decently focused image. Now when it comes to the wide angle, so it's definitely appreciated that they added a wide angle lens. Again, the issue with that is that it's kind of a low resolution, so the image quality that's already decent and not the greatest is taking a hit. So it becomes from decent to okay, it's all right. It's still wide angle, and if you can see, like if you zoom in on this image, for example, you will see that the sky is really overexposed. Okay. Now when it comes to indoor photography, it's actually slightly better in my opinion. Right, so the image is more balanced and much clearer, and when you move on to slightly lower light conditions, then the image quality does take a hit, and that's to be expected from a budget phone. Now when it comes to dynamic range, it's a hit and miss. So one thing that I do have to say that in this image, the dynamic range is respectable. I wish that the sky was just a little bit saturated just to make the colors pop. Like I said, it's just the running story behind the camera on this phone. The image is just overall soft. And similar story with the wide angle. The wide angle does just a lower resolution image because it is only 5 megapixels. And overall detail in general is fair, acceptable. When it comes to the bokeh effect, there's not really much there, so don't get your hopes up. And as far as the selfie camera goes, this phone does have a fair selfie camera. I do have to give it that. So now I'm going to show you guys the video capability of this phone, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay, so the video quality on this phone is also respectable, very usable. However, same issue. It's not really good at focusing on subjects that you want to take a video of. So that's just a problem that this phone overall has. And in just a conclusion, here's what I have to say as a final word. The camera on here is respectable. It's not the greatest. Don't get me wrong, it's not the greatest. And maybe that's due to the fact that the processor is just not really that good, right? The image processing may not be good. The sensor, I've read a couple of articles that say it's the same sensor from the A13 5G, and I can tell you the A13 5G is just better at taking images. Again, the full review and comparison between them is coming really soon, so make sure you stay subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't, just so that you don't miss that. So I wouldn't really get my hopes up as far as image quality. Like I said, it's respectable, very usable, but not the greatest. So keep your expectation at a minimum. Okay, I don't mean to be harsh on this phone. Like I said, I mean, the fact that a sub $100 phone has this kind of quality is decent. You know what I mean? Okay. So with that being said, this is my conclusion, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoy my video, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.